What's up? Welcome back to the Nate Jones story. And we're going to tell you another person going to tell their story. Nate Jones fighter, Fast Frez Oquendo, who should have been the heavyweight champion of the world after some controversy losses that he took when he clearly had won these fights. Now you get to hear it from his story. Listen. Host Chuck Park. Bob Park. All fired up.
Welcome to another episode of All Fired Up. I'm Chuck Parker. We're here with my good friend, Mr. Frez Oquendo, heavyweight boxer and good buddy. How you doing, my friend?
Man, happy to be back. You know, long time no see.
Long time no see.
That's
and
right.
You got a lot of stories to tell, my brother.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them.
So we're going to cut to the chase here. I told you years ago when I met you that if anyone should have a story made a movie, it should be you.
That's right.
Because of everything you've been through in the boxing world.
Yes.
How many titles do you have as a Latino heavyweight champion?
Oh, I have like several of them. You know,
WBC,
WBC, WBA,
WBO, WBA.
WBA. That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got all those.
Yes. That's right.
And you fought 22 fights that you won or more.
Yes. When I first started my career, I won 22 straight. You know, against undefeated top heavyweight contenders. And yeah, it was a great start of my career.
Yeah, you rocked it.
Mm-hmm.
But then here's the reason why I said they should do a movie on you. The politics of boxing. When you fought, you know what I'm going to say now.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Bird.
Yeah, the whole world.
You kicked his butt, and you know it.
Yeah.
Well, I know you know it. But, I mean, I saw that fight, and I'm like, come on. I mean, everyone was saying you won the title. That's
right.
So how did you feel after that? I remember we went out to lunch years ago, and I asked you, doesn't that bother you? I mean, deep down, it's got to like really bother you that, you had the belt. You won it. You won it.
Oh yeah. It's just sad that the politics of boxing. Again, it was my last fight with Don King Productions.
Right.
Not to say no more with that name. As you can see.
Now I'm going to stop you there. Do you think that had anything to do with it? Because I do.
Oh, most likely. Absolutely. Even George Foreman. That was his last.
Because George Foreman said it too.
And he retired after that fight. Never commentated no more heavyweight fights since that.
Really?
HBO fight period.
Right. So then after that fight, you had another little upset. Who was that with?
Oh, yeah. When I fought the great Evander Holyfield fight there, a lot of people thought I won. But again, the politics of boxing, and here I am again.
I think it was because it was close. I saw the fight.
Yeah, it was pretty close, but
I think you won too.
I mean, even the San Antonio Express newspaper, which is the most prestigious newspaper in San Antonio,
right,
where Holyfield was trained at the time and his home state at the time, and it's just this boxing so injustice of the career of Frez Oquendo. But here I am today, so at the advanced age and still mandatory contender, even though I'm going through the trials and tribulations against these corrupt promoters.
The Russian thing?
Yes.
Come on. What's with that now?
Well, we won the case.
Yeah, but when you had that fight, that was kind of a last-minute thing. You weren't feeling well, right?
Well, no, I was feeling great. I trained very hard for the fight. My wife just had my son, Liam. A beautiful boy. And they ended up getting sick in the hospital. So this is like literally a week before my fight.
They were the ones that were sick. Yes. And it was a week before.
Yeah, so I just can't leave my ailing, newborn and my wife in the hospital. I mean, I didn't feel right. It was just a thing. Boxing is 80% mental, 20%, physical. So that's very important. A lot of people don't know that boxing is majority mental. So of course, going to a fight in the back of my mind, thinking about my son, very ill, my wife. I mean, it was a tough decision that I made, and an adequate time the last couple of days before the fight, which in 2 days I ended up deciding to do the fight, which was crazy. So this first time in boxing championship history that I accepted the fight in 2 days notice.
2 days notice.
And I still did the improbable and outpointed and pretty much beat Ruslan Chagayev, who was from Chechnya at the time, Uzbekistan, and that's how I still got my rematch. And the money that was supposed to pay, they never did. They never gave me the rematch, so that's why I ended up suing them at the Southern District of New York, which was a great judge and powerful judge that made a great decision on my behalf because that was justice.
So you got it.
Yes.
So you got your pay.
Well, I get my old pay, but I did get my rematch. But again, the sanctioning bodies at the time that I was sanctioning that fight, they ended up pretty much put me in with all these fighters that tested positive with steroids, and then other fighters that,
because you had one recently.
Yes.
Steroid came into the picture.
Yes,
right?
yes, and that's Manuel Char. I was supposed to fight last year in Germany, and just again a week before the fight, week or two before the fight,
tested positive.
Positive. And these guys, they try to get advantage, which is bad for boxing.
Right.
It's a very, very black eye.
And don't they have enough smarts to know that they're going to be tested?
I know you thought they do, but
they're
kind of dumb. They're very dumb nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, what's in your cards? What are you planning on?
Well, I still got one more chance. And faith in God. The World Boxing Association and these other people that's involved in my trials and tribulations. I have court at the file suit against these German promoters and try to get my my rights put on, and I got trial November 14th, the last day, and God willing, things will be right because of course he tested positive for steroids, and these former associates of mine, the Germans, they're pretty much in cahoots and try to get me out of the heavyweight picture.
So now, here's a guy that's been in the field, in the boxing, your whole life. And you hit the ups and the downs and a lot of downs.
Right.
How do you stay, you said 80%, 20%.
Right. Focus.
And I'm a martial artist, so you know that I fought 12 years.
Exactly.
So, I wouldn't look at a big guy and go, I'm afraid of you. My mind would be like,
right.
Let's go, my brother.
Bring it up. Absolutely.
That never bothered me one bit, even though I might look like he'll kill me. But anyway, so how do you keep not only the mental, but the physical going?
Well, the good thing, I live a clean life. I always stay very productive when it comes to my health because that's my main goal to teach the future, health and wellness, which is one of the programs that I have in my foundation. But getting back to me, it's a way of life. The sweet science of boxing. I've been doing it since the age of 13, but very carefully because this is an individual sport. It's not like basketball, baseball, football is a team sport. Boxing, you got to be 100% with yourself. If not, playing with fire. So, boxing is very, very, very strategic, and it keeps me, up to par and focus.
So when you train, what kind of, I know how I used to train and how I still do train. How did you train? Like every day? You're doing something every day?
Yeah, something. Yeah,
you probably do, right?
Yes.
Because you have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you still look great.
Thank you.
You still look like you just knocked somebody out in 4 seconds.
Trying to hang with the young guns.
That's it, brother. You got to.
Because a lot of people ask me, man, Fred, how do you keep on going with this? Travesty in boxing, injustices in your career, and recently, and they crowned this guy who tested positive for steroids last year, and they unsuspended it, and now they put him as champ, the WBA, which is wrong, on my behalf. It's in God's hand. I stay focused. My job is to stay focused, keep myself, ready 100%. Which I got my physicals. My from the Illinois Boxing Commission. They approved me that at my advanced age, I'm ready to fit and healthy to fight for a world championship.
And I think you can do it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think you definitely got that mental thing going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you want it more than anybody else.
That's right.
And the excellent character traits is perseverance. You know
that's
that.
Right, yeah.
So you just got to
there you go.
Focus and just keep on rocking it, right?
Absolutely.
Do your sprints.
Yep.
Do your bag work. Do your ring work. Right?
Yep.
And who do you train with?
Oh, my trainer, Nate Jones. He's Floyd Mayweather's assistant trainer. He won the 1996 Olympic bronze medalist. He was my former arch rival in the amateurs. You know,
really?
Yeah. We go way back. He was from the Cabrini Green housing projects. I was from Lathrop Homes housing projects. So we were crosstown.
Right.
And nowadays, you know, we're the best of friends. We're like
cool.
brothers.
Cool. Because you had some top people behind you.
Oh yeah.
In the corners and everything else.
Yeah.
Name a few of them.
Beginning, Felix Trinidad Sr.
See,
Felix
there you
Trinidad's
go.
Father.
Everybody knows
Felix
that.
Trinidad, of course, Freddie Roach, who trains one of the iconic fighter, Manny Pacquiao. That was my stablemate. And now Nate Jones. So I've been blessed to have great trainers and mentors in my career and life.
Did you ever meet Pacquiao?
Yes.
How is he? Because he seems like a pretty cool
very
guy.
Down to earth. You know, he's a people champion, you know, world champion, obviously.
Right.
But more importantly, he works for his country. You know?
Right. And he's doing a lot of good stuff in his country, just like you are here.
Yes.
With your foundation, your academy.
That's right.
So that's what I really dig about you. You know, you've hit the top of your field, in my opinion, in most people's opinion.
Absolutely.
But now you're doing this. You're still keeping that focus.
Yep.
You're still now you want to do it with kids.
Yes.
Because you know the kids is where it's at.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Mm-hmm.
So how's that working out?
Oh, it
looks pretty cool, man. I follow you on all that stuff.
Thanks. Yeah, we just had our first, you know, annual building champions benefit, and it was a success. You know,
and I know you invited me, and I couldn't make it because I was out of town working, and I'm going like, oh yeah, he's gonna be on my show. Here I am blowing him off on his first foundation.
You know what? It was great.
Fundraiser.
You know, we had close to 300 people.
Wow.
A lot of people came out to support me. Great iconic basketball players like, you know, Kendall Gill, Craig Hodges, former champion.
Nice.
You know, they always supported me, and you know, I feel great that I have so many other supporters that, you know, always reach out to me, and especially my partners, Aspida Charter Schools, you know, with Chicago Public Schools.
Right.
They're my new partners. They're the one that gave me, you know, a chance to, you know, mentor their kids,
work
with their kids.
That's sweet.
And I've been able to succeed in accomplishing their kids' goals, you know, the kids in Aspida, my partners. And man, it's a great partnership. And we're right now with 3 high schools and a middle school. So we're servicing many boys and girls. We got a lot of girls, man, that are tougher than the boys. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love it. Yeah.
And how many, you know, how do you do that with you know, how do you organize that when how big is the place, number one?
Oh yeah, it's pretty big.
Because it looks pretty big.
Yeah, I got my own gym with the school, with the Aspida Charter School. So I have 2 facilities, one at the Pantoja High School, Aspida, which is on Belmont and Pulaski area, Northwest Side, Avondale, Albany, and then Albany Park, the middle school. And you know, these kids, it's just amazing how at the age of, you know, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, just want to try the sweet science, and it gives them a lot of discipline and motivation.
And that's what they need. That's what they need.
That's correct.
Because maybe there's a 1-parent household.
Yes.
Maybe that's probably half of it, right?
Yes,
you know that for sure.
Right, especially in the neighborhood.
And if they need somebody like you, and people to look at them going like, look at this guy, look at this, look at this. We need this.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, you're like dad.
Yeah,
right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
You gotta be.
I mean, it's my passion. It's something that my dad instilled in me as I was a kid growing up. Because you know, when I was growing up, you know, my dad always had, you know, loved a lot of kids, and I always introduced it to a lot of his friends' kids. And you know, I used to want my dad's time. My dad said, no, you gotta love all kids. You gotta give them second chances.
Right.
You know, even though it's not my son, but I treat him like my son, because you know what? I want you all to instill that in your heart and help others, kids that are unfortunate, don't have it like you, you know. And you know, I learned that trait from my dad. May God bless his soul. He died over a year ago.
Yeah, sorry to hear, brother.
You know, his legacy is still living on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That was tough for you.
Yeah, very tough. That was right before my fight, when I was supposed to fight in Germany, you know, weeks before. My dad died, and then next, you know, this guy tested positive for steroids. So it was a rough year.
And you're going, come on, God, what did I do?
Well, no, God got some plan.
No, I know, but
it happens.
You still got to question.
Yeah.
Question that way, but
I mean,
you know.
Yeah, I got you, but you know, perseverance, like you said earlier.
Perseverance.
Yeah, that's it.
So, so any of the fighters that you fought, do you keep in contact with any of them?
Yeah. Like I said, me and Nate Jones, my former amateur arch rival, he ended up beating me to go to 1996 Olympic medal.
Right.
He medaled bronze. You know, it could have been me. I could have medaled bronze or gold or anything, you know. and and other pro fighters like let's see, we used to spar a lot, like Montel Griffin, Doc Nicholson. These are like my big brother mentors that I used to spar with all the time. So yeah.
So you still see him, talk to him, hang out with him.
They come to my
come to Chicago, and they live around here or out of town.
Yeah, they're out of town, but they come in to support my cause.
Cool.
And Lamon Brewster, former heavyweight champ, who knocked out Vladimir Klitschko. He's another one that supports my foundation, and I thank these grand champions a lot for being there for me.
And what's with those Klitschko guys, the brothers, right?
Oh, they're done. They're history.
What the heck? Were they just sitting on their title?
Yeah,
and not fighting?
Yeah, it was interesting, but politics again. It's all about.
Why are they doing that? That's what just kills me, because I love boxing.
It was for a long time that they held the titles hostage. Yeah, you're right.
They held it hostage, right?
Right, exactly.
Because what are you going to do?
Yeah,
they don't want to fight. I don't want to fight you because didn't you? And if I'm wrong, I apologize, but didn't you offer one of them fight for everything?
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
See, I remember stuff.
Wow, good memory. Yes, but they decided to go with another challenger, which is more easy because my.
But you know what kind of draw that would be with that moxie that you had by saying, "I'm going to listen. I don't care about the money.
Right.
I want this.
Exactly. The glory.
So bring it on.
Exactly.
Winner takes all.
Exactly. Yep.
That would have been such a big purse and such a cool thing to do for boxing, I think, because that's old school.
No, absolutely.
In my opinion.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's something I'd do.
Yeah.
Because I don't care about the money. Bring it on. Let's go.
The glory.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're going to fight. You're going to train anyway. So let's just make it big.
Yep. Exactly.
Right. Yep. But they turned you down.
That's right. You're right, Chuck.
And nobody did anything about it.
The politics of the game, without Don King, we got rid of him. Now this happened, but now they're gone. So now we got a new generation.
So how do you think it's going to be?
It's going to be interesting. Anthony Joshua's fighting Andy Ruiz, the kid who just upset Anthony Joshua from England. So they're fighting supposed to be in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be interesting. That's the new generation, and I look forward to seeing that fight.
So what do you think that boxing has to do now to, everyone's talking about MMA, that's obviously huge nowadays. But it's different because people always ask me, being a martial artist, could you have done MMA in my prime?
Right.
And I couldn't have because I didn't have that. I'm going to take my elbow and knock your eye out.
Right.
I don't have that.
Right.
And I know you have to have that for MMA.
Oh yeah.
But it's not boxing.
Oh no, it's not no sweet science. No.
Right. There's no sweet science.
Savagery, but
I'm not saying it's
It's
not easy.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying it is easy. It is hard.
Yes,
but what I'm saying is it's not the same.
Exactly.
But now you got this younger generation doing MMA.
That's right.
The younger generation also coming into the boxing. So what do you think boxing has to do to kind of get back up equal to MMA and surpass MMA?
You're right.
What do you have to do? They're going to have to get rid of all the BS politics.
Exactly.
They got to do it right.
Exactly. Treat the fighters right. Pay them what they deserve to be earned, and justice. It's so important. For fighters to stay mentally focused. Like myself. The boxing politics that try to take me out the game at my advanced age. And that's just wrong, it's just wrong. I mean, let me get my fight. But
you keep on saying, you've said advanced age to me 4 times. I think I'm going to knock you out.
right.
15 years old. Stop saying that.
Right.
So, but what I'm saying though, with your advanced age, didn't what's his name, Foreman?
Yeah, actually,
come on, Foreman fought. Exactly. How old was he?
He was like
50?
40, almost,
I think he was close to 50, 58, 48.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I think he was when he came back and said, because he had moxie, and he's like, "Come on,
that's right.
You can take a punch,
yeah,
right?
Right. Yep, that's that power, that little punch."
Now I remember seeing on social media, you had a picture taken with good old Muhammad Ali.
That's my mentor. Yeah,
right.
That's right.
Now who doesn't love him?
Exactly, the greatest of all time.
I think so too.
Yes.
Now, was he able to talk a lot or no?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. But throughout the year, it deteriorated.
I mean, when you met him and saw him with that picture, was it
1999? Yeah, he was
still okay a little bit.
He was still talking, but real low.
Right,
real low. Yes,
because that's a bad sickness. What he had, brother. Right.
Sad.
I mean, all his
life. Yeah.
Right. But So you met him.
Yeah, it was iconic. It's one of the best glory days of my career.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the all-time great.
Did he talk to you at all about it?
Yeah, he was there when when I did my Vegas debut on the Mike Tyson undercard when he fought Francois Botha, that fight where Mike Tyson almost broke his opponent's arm.
Really?
And the guy was outboxing the heck out of Tyson, but Tyson ended up catching him with a punch and knocking him out. But he was losing. Tyson was losing, and Ali was right there in the ring side. And right after Tyson knocked the guy out, I ended up coming to fight. I was,
Oh yeah.
Right after the fight, because Mike Tyson's the main attraction, of course. So it's unfortunate, I didn't have the TV or camera on me, but that was one of my best victories coming up, right on the Mike Tyson undercard.
So you met Tyson?
Oh, several times, yeah.
A lot, right?
Yes. Went to
How is he?
Undefeated
Because he's pretty low key now.
Oh yeah,
he's a different man.
Oh
right?
Yeah, he's got that ranch cattle, smoking like $40,000 of hydro a month. I don't know if you heard about that.
No.
Hey,
what is that?
Hydro, figure speed, weed.
Okay.
Marijuana.
That's what he's doing?
He's got a cattle. Oh yeah, he's got a marijuana cattle. Yeah, he makes millions. Oh, he's
really.
Oh yeah, man.
So he lost it all.
But he gained it.
But he get it back.
Yes. Very
and I think he got it back because of those movies too.
Oh yeah. Oh,
because once you're doing Hangovers, then all of a sudden that became popular. And all of a sudden, then you started seeing him on other shows and just things.
So
he was smart because you know why? Because he cleaned his act up.
There you go.
And he wasn't an idiot.
Exactly.
Because he was in that I am just
an
idiot.
Exactly.
Just a bulldog crazy guy.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But he lost. I wonder how he lost everything. Did he ever tell you?
Well,
was it bad management? Just people stealing?
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, his spending. Don King too?
Yeah, it was his promoter.
Don
King. There you go. He can't stand Don King. If you see one on social media, Don King was passed by Mike Tyson like at the beginning of this year. He touched Mike Tyson's shoulder, and because we're friends on Instagram, me and Mike Tyson. As he touched Mike Tyson looked, it was Don King. He had a big old cup of water. Put it right in Don King's face. Oh, I was so happy to see him. I was like, good for you, Mike. He would get up there and grab him, but I'm glad he caught
him. Yeah, he would have.
Yeah, exactly.
15, 20 years ago, he would have, right?
Oh, yeah.
Don King's little spiky hair would have been.
He slipped through the cracks on that one. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's cool, though.
Yeah.
So you get to hang with some of those guys?
Yeah.
And you got your big Chicago Cubs guys. So
absolutely.
You said you were mentioning earlier about your foundation, some of the supporters. Is Baez, you said?
Yeah, his uncle.
His uncle?
Yeah, he supported my foundation, and that was cool. And then, I still haven't had the chance to meet Baez in person, but, we've seen each other through social media and all that.
Right.
So I'm still hoping, Baez, if you're reading this, seeing this show.
Well, they're not doing anything now. So
you're right. You got all time. You got all time. Right.
Right.
I signed some gloves from me and some posters for the kids.
Hey, when I first met you, I remember you brought over a T-shirt. I was going to bring it. I couldn't find it.
Oh, wow.
Because I moved. I told you I moved.
Yes.
So I had one of your T-shirts that you signed, and I still had. I put it in. You know where I put it underneath? You're going to like this. Under my Joe Montana jersey.
Oh, wow.
Signed jersey. I put that. So you're right next to Joe Montana in my archive somewhere.
Holy. Wow.
And I shouldn't say that because it was under there. And then my son was in the Air Force. I told you about. That he comes to my house because he bought a house in Delaware, and all of a sudden I see in his bag, right? And I see my Montana jersey on the bag, and I go, "Hey, what are you doing with that, buddy?" Well, it's in your closet. He goes, "I might as well take it." I go, "Well, that's my Joe Montana jersey." But you're not doing anything with it. Let me hang it up. I go, "Take it, brother. What's mine is yours. Take all my stuff. I don't care." But you get to a point where you go, "Who cares?"
Yeah,
right? And you got kids, How's your kids doing?
They're getting big. I got, kids there. Frez Jr. He's getting ready to graduate in his last year of at Northern Illinois University. He's doing a lot of production, movie engineering.
Is that that's what he's trying to pursue?
Yeah, that's what he's trying to pursue. So you might want to
production movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
So reach out.
Is he doing cameras and what's he doing with that?
He does cameras, editing, all that stuff.
Really?
Yep.
Well, see, we're gonna have to talk.
That's right. Yeah, because we'll be in the family.
One thing, because one thing I try to. I ran into a lady once that we were talking, and the kid, I said, I'm doing this TV show called Backroads Bars. And then she goes, oh, that's cool. And she goes, my son here does soundtracks. And I go, well, if he'd like to do a soundtrack to this, there's really no money in it right now.
Right.
And she goes, well, he's got to make a lot of money. And I go, that's not how it works, ma'am. I'm telling you right now.
Right.
People have to say, I'm working on this to put on their websites, to put on their, for credentials.
Yeah.
whether it's a national show or not, you have to do that kind of stuff to give you experience to do it.
That's correct.
So just like your kid, it's the same thing. Just because he's your kid doesn't mean he's going to do anything unless he starts doing it.
Yep. Doing
and saying, look, I'm doing camera for this TV show, Backroads Bars. I'm doing some editing for this. I'm doing this. That's what he's got to do.
That's correct.
And if they don't want to listen, then you're going to be on a hard road. That's what I tell these guys, because this is Chicago. It's not LA.
Right.
So if you're going to stay in Chicago, you gotta start working in Chicago.
No shortcut to success, hard work.
So you want to be a boxer, you can't I'm going to train for a half hour once a week.
Right. Exactly.
That'll get me somewhere, right?
I'll get them to the floor, right?
Real fast.
Right, quick.
But so when you're fighting, I'm going back to the fighting thing. So I'm all over the board. Kids fighting, whatever. But are you nervous when you go in?
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's terrified.
Because I think
Mike Tyson,
you have to be.
Everybody. That's the natural.
Did Mike Tyson say he was?
Of course.
Even though Muhammad Ali, time, you'd just knock him out in a second.
Yeah, no, but him too. Yeah, that's the name of him. Muhammad Ali. Yes, I've heard it from the greats. That Tito Trinidad. Just the name of absolutely. If you don't have that funny, something's wrong with you.
Right.
I mean, you shouldn't even be in the ring. You get hurt because you don't. I mean, you're just gonna get hurt. That's not normal.
Because I think when you're going in there, it's not just I'm going to fight you.
Right.
It's everything you did to fight you.
Exactly.
And that's in there. And you're thinking you study the tapes, you study this, you see what he's doing. You're doing, when I had my masters teaching me stuff, they were like you said. So I like the 80-20, analogy, because they're looking at me and going, okay, you don't look like you can do anything.
Right.
They're honest. Exactly. They're masters.
Right.
But here's the advantage you have. You know what you're doing.
Right.
So you got to use body language to make them think you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Right.
So then they're going to have that confidence way up here. And then when you come in and you throw a kick and knock them in the face really fast, they're going to go, what the heck just happened here? I thought this kid couldn't do anything. And then you start dancing, Bruce Lee dancing around just to screw them up in their mind. So I knew how to mess with their minds. That was the fun part of it. I knew how to mess with their minds.
That's awesome.
Just so with the boxing thing, you're looking at tapes. You're going, well, he doesn't like if I do this. If I do this,
strategy.
There's got to be just strategy there.
Oh, absolutely.
You look at hours and hours of tapes, right? And you just sit there with your coaches, and they're telling you, just do strategy. This. Watch this guy, because when he gets into this position, you got to do this, right?
That's boxing.
So this was a quick half hour, wasn't it, Frez?
Oh yeah, man, it's awesome.
It was great, brother. I really appreciate you coming in,
brother,
on this drizzly evening night.
Evening. Yes.
But I had a good time talking to you.
Likewise,
and
brother.
I want to come and see your foundation.
Oh, absolutely.
And maybe we'll have you on another show to talk about your foundation a little bit more. Maybe go over something, because I like the visual part. But again, thank you.
Thank you, brother Parker.
And your foundation is what? Real quick.
FOBAINTL.org. Please check it out. Donate for these beautiful kids that I'm working with, girls and boys.
Great cause, everybody.
That are doing great.
Help Mr. Oquendo and the kids.
FOBAINTL.org.
Right on. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Now, once again, Frez brought up a lot of points as he went through his boxing career, his life, and things of that nature. Frez has been ripped off so many times in fights, and it always seemed to be world title championship bouts. Now, the Chris Bird fight is the fight that we hear of the most out of all the fights that he had, because that one behind it. It was his last fight with Don King, and it's a lot of politics going into that. And it just was not something that the average boxing fan would be proud of, to see that happen to another person. So we're going to take you back 4 years so you can make your own choice on who you think won that fight.
Bird is smart to go to the body. Get some of the energy out of your fighter.
Larry makes a good point about Oquendo having decided he wanted this, so I'm incorrect in saying it surprises Frez. It's still a bit of a role reversal, but one with which Bird says he isn't all that uncomfortable. He thinks that as time goes on, he'll be more and more free to attack other heavyweights because he thinks he's getting stronger.
Oquendo is just pretending that he's afraid of Chris Bird because there's no power in Chris Bird's initial shots unless you run your head into them.
What Bird has done frequently in the past, the Jimmy Thunder fight is an excellent example, to try to frustrate his opponents into awkwardness and lunging strokes, and then in the late rounds to step inside and try to hurt them with bigger and bigger shots. Not that he's a big puncher, but he can surprise you in his view. And the crowd indicates what they think of the nature of the action in round one.
Action? You saw action?
I use the word loosely.
Well, if he gets set that way, he's waiting to throw the right hand. He's waiting to throw the right. Take that right hand from him. That's all he got. And the way you got to do that, you got to keep him busy. Smother that right. He can't get it off. He's trying to.
As we go to Frez Oquendo's corner, where trainer Jose Bonilla speaks Spanish, our interpreter is Hector Garcia.
You got to walk to the side, to his left, walk to his left, move that jab, and keep that throwing that right hand. What we worked at the gym, the right hand to the body, and then we finish up with a hook on the top. Can't give him this round. A lot of rights, a lot of rights. Go for it. Alive, be alive.
Box numbers in round one showed Oquendo throwing fewer than 20 punches, landing no power punches. Bird wasn't all that terribly active himself. That's why the crowd booed.
Oquendo is playing the counter puncher, doing a good job of it as well.
Typical of a conventional fighter against a southpaw, Oquendo finds himself sort of pawing with the jab and trying to let straight right hands as his bread and butter.
He's allowing Bird to just lead with his right jab, and he just stands back a little bit and try to catch him on top. Bird is not really happy about it. He doesn't like that being the leader here.
Too bad CompuBox can't count for us the number of times that Bird's right hand touches Oquendo's left hand as they try to paw forward with the jab. Bird often taking Oquendo's glove in his own open glove.
Oquendo lands a few shots and he goes backward again. I think that's good. Very smart. Make that counter puncher become a fighter.
With a couple of straight left-hand shots. Thrown with conviction, Oquendo jabbing to the body from distance.
Like what Oquendo did that time. He was able to get to the body and on top of the head a few times, and he goes backwards. As if to say, I hurt you, but I'm not going to do anything about it.
Bird finally gets hit with an Oquendo jab. Now Oquendo goes back to the body with his jab.
Oquendo landing more punches in this round.
Significantly more.
And he can do it all night if he just keeps his position, stay back.
That time Oquendo caught Chris Bird's left with his right glove.
You see, Chris Bird is afraid of Oquendo's right hand, so he's going to be cautious as he moves in.
Oquendo lands a right hand. Bird swings and misses in return. credit Bird with a landed punch to the body. Not very hard. Oquendo returns the favor with his own left-hand shot to the body. Don't usually see a jab contest between a southpaw and a conventional fighter.
It seems to me that Bird, if he doesn't pick it up, is falling right into the trap. Oquendo backs up and allows him to overcommit.
And Bird, who's operated mostly with straight hands up to this point, seems more intent now, not only on throwing more jabs, but on landing them, as opposed to falling short. There he popped Oquendo with the jab, and Oquendo came back with a perfect counter left hand.
Yeah, he's walking right into Oquendo's trap. Who would think that this big guy could think?
And there's a good tackle by Oquendo. A former high school football player from Chicago. We know he played quarterback. Maybe played a little strong safety too.
You would think that the challenger is under pressure to make
them, as opposed to falling short. There he popped Oquendo with the jab, and Oquendo came back with a perfect counter left hand.
Yeah, he's walking right into Oquendo's trap. Who would think that this big guy could think?
And there's a good tackle by Oquendo. A former high school football player from Chicago. We know he played quarterback. Maybe played a little strong safety too.
You would think that the challenger is under pressure to make the fight, to take the title. But Bird knows that he is under pressure to look good, to make the case that he has been trying to make, that others should fight him.
Well, I like what Oquendo is doing. He's making that counter puncher turn into Tiger.
But Bird has just turned in two excellent body shots with the left hand. They both missed with their jabs. Now Bird sticks one over the top.
Oquendo doesn't do well when he's in the middle of the ring. He best keep his back and off posture.
Stuck his jab, lands it again. Bird grinning, somewhat chuckling. Chris Bird says, hey, I'm a trash talker. I'll talk to you all the way through the round.
Another right hand by Oquendo. Those right hands are reaching the mark. Bird comes back with a good left.
Straight left hand by Bird. Hard right hand to the body by Oquendo. Good shot.
I like it because he's going to the body. A boxer, you take away his legs and he has to sit there and fight with you.
So Oquendo coming in with a viable plan and executing it so far. Crowd starts to get interested. You made an interesting point earlier in the round, Larry. You're saying that Chris Bird has reached the stage of his career where he can no longer afford to just stink the joint out and win on defense.
Well, if he says everybody's ducking him, he's got to show them a reason to fight him.
CompuBox numbers on power punches for three show Oquendo landing 38% of his power punches. That's not easy to do against Chris Bird. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through three?
Okay, Jim. 2 rounds to 1, 29-28. Fast Frez Oquendo. You know, Jim, I tell you, I never saw Chris Bird have so much trouble in my life. I mean, this guy's getting off first with that right hand, and Chris doesn't punch because, you know, how can you punch if you fight defensively? Frez Oquendo, based on that really good combinations and that nice right hand, he's getting off first, taking it to Bird.
Bird is real careful not to be hit with that right hand by Oquendo. Real careful, and that causes him to lay back for a little too long. You just got to do what you
have had trouble doing.
That jab he lands on top of Chris Bird's right jab.
Straight right hand, and he stuffs into Bird's face.
It's a long fight, long way to go.
Stop one, just put the turn on.
Now, when you're a puncher, this takes a lot out of you to go forward on a boxer. You got to really pace yourself. That's a knockdown. Oh, yes. Hit him with that left.
Called a tackle, not a knockdown. Referee Eddie Cotton not seeing it as a knockdown.
Thank you, Chris. Don't hit him. Don't hit him.
Ruling that Oquendo took him out with his legs instead.
Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Get up. Get up. Come on. All right, stop one. Stop one. Stop one.
Remember, that's old Cotton who, when Tyson was 1,000 times.
Oh, there's a hard left hook by Oquendo.
Never called him a knockdown. They called him pushes.
All right, stop. Get up.
Old Cotton.
George Foreman referring to Eddie Cotton's performance as referee in the Lennox Lewis Mike Tyson fight in Memphis, June 8, 2002.
Stop one. Right there. Stop. Come on. Step back. Come on. Time.
On the scorecards, and that was against first Vitaly Klitschko. He won when Vitaly wound retiring on his stool with an injured shoulder. Vladimir Klitschko. Bird made it to the finish line against Vladimir, but was pretty badly beaten up in the process.
You know, one reason he's been successful as a boxer, and he doesn't get much credit for this, and he deserves it, is that he is a tough guy. He took a good punch. He took an unholy beating from Vladimir Klitschko. His father wanted to stop the fight after 2 knockdowns, and he insisted on going to the end. So he has the skills and he has the toughness. He doesn't have the punch.
Hard right hand by Oquendo. Very confident now, Frez Oquendo, a minute into the 5th round. Now here comes Bird trying to rally. You heard Joe Bird telling his son between rounds, when he charges straight forward like that, just step aside. So far, Oquendo's still able to make contact when he charges straight forward.
Bird made a motion as though Oquendo got him on the back of the head. He has hit a few opponents with looping punches behind the head, but he's hitting him on the front of the head more than Bird is used to getting hit.
Bird also seems worried about Frez Oquendo's head. Bird, who says he was butted by Evander Holyfield, seems to believe that Oquendo's trying to butt him when he comes straight forward.
Let him go.
Left hand landed for Oquendo.
Oquendo's a big guy tonight. Our power weight, he's got to make sure he's getting a little more accurate.
Bird jabbed twice, got hit by an Oquendo left hook, and responded saying, "Whoop, that's interesting."
Bird is now in the position where he's trying to make a fight of it.
He might have lost all 3 of the preceding rounds, in which case he's behind on the scorecards early.
That's what you want to do, get a boxer behind on points, so he's got to get in there and fight you. Then he runs into those big shots.
Obviously, that was part of the Oquendo plan.
Now, Oquendo is taking some shots from Bird.
Well, if Chris Bird has deceptive punching power, as he says he does, tonight will be the night to use it.
He's got to fight tonight, and I think he's going to do it.
On the neck.
Good left jab to the body. He constantly landing that thing on the side of that southpaw.
Jabbing to the body all night long, Oquendo, along with some straight right hand to the body.
Those punches hurt because it's hitting you in the side of your body where you just can't just build up with muscles, you see.
Well, if you have no respect for your opponent's power, you can often go to the body without fear.
That's right. What is he going to do about it? Slap you?
CompuBox punch numbers show Oquendo outlanding Bird 37-26 over the last 3 rounds. CompuBox does not measure the impact of the punch, simply tries to provide a profile of the number of punches thrown and landed. landed.
Copybot's got criticized almost as much as Barbera, I mean us, last week. But you're right, Jim. The activity of the fighters, which it tracks, 95% of the time tracks the winner of the fight. Last week it didn't.
Hey, here's a big Chris Byrd flurry. He got Oquendo to the body, momentarily stopped him, and as he had him pinned against the ropes, landed a series of shots. That's the best Byrd moment of the fight so far.
Yeah, you gotta hurt him though. You just can't flurry, otherwise they're gonna come back and be mad at you for not hurting them.
And now Oquendo delivers some very hard shots to the body and a big right hand upstairs. And a left hook as well. Frez Oquendo bringing it to Chris Byrd. After some confidence-building rounds for Oquendo.
I think what gave him more confidence is that Byrd hit him with his best shot and didn't hurt him.
Good left-hand body shot by Oquendo. Byrd seems wary of the looping punch to the back of the head and backs away. More body stuff from Oquendo. Hard left hand upstairs by Byrd. Got Frez's attention.
All he has to do is feint that right hand and Byrd jumps 5 feet back. 5 feet, one feint. Whenever you want to rest,
the top by Oquendo. Double jab by Byrd.
Whenever Oquendo want to rest, he just feint with the right hand and Byrd backs away. The referee is doing a good job.
6 rounds in the books. And Chris Byrd had better hope that he's not down 5 rounds to 1, which is not inconceivable
Great round.
given the action we've seen.
We're half the fight now. This fight is yours. Your hands are reaching in. Give him water. Your hands are reaching. It's doing great. Gotta be, mama. Gotta be.
Yeah, he grabbed and hold it, but you had to fake it, make him grab and nothing there. Step to the side of it. Step to the side, okay? It's just step to. Here we see Oquendo without fear of return, throwing big right hands. Byrd comes back with some punches later in the round. Chris Byrd has been called underestimated so much. Through the middle of the fight, you'd say he's been overestimated.
There's that lead left jab again, right to the body.
Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim. 5 rounds to 1, 59-55. Fast Frez Oquendo. Jim, I got to. He's keeping the pressure on. He's just right hands. But I got to say something, about what Larry said before. If you draw a line down the side of a fighter, Jim, down each side of a fighter, okay? You got to hit the guy in the front. In other words, it's got to be in the front. You can't hit the guy in the back of the head. It's extremely dangerous. It's absolutely illegal. You can't hit him in the kidneys. You can't hit him in the back. You can't hit him in the back of his head.
I have the fight closer. I have it 3-2 and 1 even.
I think it's entirely conceivable that I think it's entirely conceivable that some of the judges might have given the last round to. But still, I think we can all agree he's in a fight. He's facing a severe challenge, and he's going to have to do better in these last 6 rounds than he did in the first.
When you fighting a southpaw or vice versa, you're going to throw a lot of punches. They're going to be on the wrong side of the body, the wrong side of the head, and that's just the way it goes.
Yo, what's up, Rashawn?
Left hook to the body by Oquendo.
You know, CompuBox numbers coming into this round had Oquendo landing 36 out of 89 jabs. That's 40%. Excellent against any southpaw. Pretty amazing against Chris Byrd. But he's doing it by jabbing to the body.
It's working so good for him.
Gives you a much better chance to connect and invests in the future.
That's right. If it goes down to the last 4 or 5 rounds, your guy's too weak to do anything about your being weak.
Oquendo seems a little ragged here. I wonder if he's tired.
You got to be tired when you're throwing those kind of punches. But I've seen him fight before. Just when you think he's out of it and tired, comes up with a big punch.
You know, Oquendo's only loss, he built up a big lead against David Tua and then got knocked out. Byrd trying to show Eddie Cotton that Oquendo hit him on the back of the head. Oquendo raising that right hand threateningly again. Oquendo built a big lead over David Tua, then got knocked out. David Tua is the exact opposite of Chris Byrd in the heavyweight division.
You're looking good. You're looking good. Need ice for his back. Water. Relax. Relax. We're gonna win this fight. We're gonna win this fight. Everybody calm. Put water on his head, please.
Hit the towel here. You got to chop him. You got to catch him coming in. Step to the side. Don't go straight back all the time.
Yeah.
Take him in a circle.
See, oh yeah. He's coming straight.
He's coming straight in on you.
He's
ready, and he's ready both feet together.
Yeah.
So far in the fight, CompuBox numbers find Chris Byrd landing only 23% of his punches. That's a very low percentage for a boxer technician like Byrd. And chances are he would need to step that up to give himself the maximum chance to win the fight. Byrd now jabbing the body and coming back upstairs. Byrd throwing more punches than Oquendo right now. As Frez seems to be resting just a little bit with the lead. But the Oquendo plan to make Byrd lead against him is working perfectly, and a big counter left for Oquendo. Byrd in his tracks.
Byrd can't play with this man.
Byrd's in a bad position now because he's behind on points. And he has to go after it.
And you gotta just keep moving your head like his dad told him to step around. Don't stay in front. Byrd is playing that game of staying in front of a puncher, following him around as well.
Straight right hand by Oquendo.
Oquendo is doing what the Klitschko's trying to do against Byrd. Not punch through the target, just punch at it. Don't overcommit because it's hard to hit a boxer like Byrd with long punches.
Swing for singles and doubles, not for home runs.
Well, he's been hitting some fielders, I tell you, some grounders.
Hard grounder.
Triples.
Yeah.
Go, let him go, get out, go.
When Byrd stepped to the left side of Oquendo, he does well, but then he comes right back in front of him.
Oquendo throwing that looping right hand again. Byrd shakes it off and comes back with 2 punches of his own. Byrd's going to have to forget about worrying about being hit in the back of the head. He's going to have to go forward and take his chances on Oquendo's looping right hand.
Get out.
Ooh, 1-2 by Oquendo, the right and then the left. Body shot again by Oquendo.
This is a good heavyweight fight.
Tracy Bird, wife of Chris, great boxing fan, knows the sport, and you can see the score on her face. She does not have Chris leading, or so I would guess from that expression.
When you get in there, take chances and put them together. Do the bag drill now. You know what you got to do in there. That style throwing you off, but don't let it throw you off. Make it work for you. Okay? Okay. Go this way, now listen. When he coming in, he launching in. And when he launch in, if he miss, he grab. It's time that, and you ain't throwing enough left hand lead.
I'm trying to cover.
Don't think about it. Just throw the left hand lead and the hook will come. Okay? You got to leave that left hand. Double that left hand lead up.
Joe Bird loading his son up with information. You heard Chris say, I'm trying to do that. More left-hand leads, part of what Joe wanted.
And there you saw the first one.
And Frez Oquendo countered it with a good right to the body.
And most fighters, when you lose your opponent, you keep throwing shots. But Oquendo, when he loses Bird, he holds on. That's good. And you can't see them hold on. Great left hand, right hand. His corner told him to do it.
Now look at how Oquendo mixes up his attack. Straight right hand, then the jab, not the other way around.
He's giving Bird a lot to think about.
An old high school quarterback executing his game plan very well.
To near perfection from my eyes. Time running out on Chris Bird. Only 11 minutes left in the fight.
Chris Bird has the kind of look of frustration on his face that his opponents normally do.
Exactly. More and more, Bird trying to chase. Hoping to land something big. His detractors would say, doesn't have anything big.
Oh, they're going to collide heads if they're not careful. Now, the referee has got no reason to bother. He doesn't have any reason at all to bother with Oquendo.
There you saw just before that collision, Bird trying to time Oquendo's ledges as he's doing right here. He's trying to find out when's he coming, and then I'm going to get him. That's just the time that Oquendo doesn't come.
Well, the referee is playing the old okey-doke now, messing with Oquendo.
What's the okey-doke, George?
The okey-doke is in take care of the house, and this guy's a long way from home, and the referee's saying, look out for him. Let him by himself. You don't go in there pushing his opponent on the chest.
This is a very good round for Frez Oquendo at a moment when it's Bird who needs to generate momentum.
Frez is taking him to school. Falling right into the trap.
Left hand by Bird there. Oquendo missed over the top with his own counter left.
Bird is looking for a knockout.
Yep. Look at that. He's trying to walk his man down.
But you just don't walk up on a puncher.
What choice does he have?
I always go up first. Bring a chair up. Come on, you have to be faster than this. We can't let go. We can't get loose now. This last round, we cannot be soft. Don't get desperate. Breathe in. Come on. Listen to me. Listen to me. It's in the middle of the ring. I don't want to see you on the ropes. In the middle of the ring. Jab, 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 and a lot of rights.
There he is in the middle of the ring, a left hand that jolted Bird. Another one on the top of the head
that didn't do Bird any good either.
Chris Bird threw 52 punches by CompuBox count in the 9th round. That was his high output for the fight. His energy level rising as the urgency mounts. And as we saw at the end of the last round, an amazing sight. Chris Bird trying to walk Frez Oquendo down and land a big shot. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 9?
Okay, Jim. 88-83, 7 rounds to 2. Fast Frez Oquendo. Jim, I don't know. Chris Bird to me seems totally ineffective. He's one in, and Frez is nailing him with left hands, with straight right hand leads. Just landing the harder punches, getting off first, taking it to Chris Bird, taking Chris Bird out of his game by getting off first. I have it 6-2 in 1.
Famed Boston talk show host Eddie Andelman picked this upset on the air with me the other day. I told him I thought he might be crazy. He wasn't.
Got a lot of rounds to go. 3, 2.5.
Oh, there's a hard right hand by Oquendo. Bird seems constrained to try to counter it right away as he jumps after Oquendo.
Yeah, well, this is the gazelle chasing the lion.
Boy, his corner's got to refresh him. If Oquendo corner can refresh him, we may have an upside.
They traded shots. Oquendo landing a big left hand, and Bird landed a right hand in return.
When you go to the corner, they got to refresh you and not talk so much.
Bird no longer the relaxed, loosey-goosey defender in there as he goes after Oquendo. Bird waited for the ropes and tried to hit a home run with the left hand.
Oh, the big guy's really getting a little tired now. He's in this uncertain territory. Holding on.
Bird is a rhythm fighter who's been checked and de-rhythmed all night. Every time he thinks he has something going, he walks into a punch or a clinch.
Ooh, combination burst from Oquendo as he fires to the body with a combination. Bird comes back at it. Bird seems to believe Oquendo's tired, but the bell sounds to end the round. 2 stanzas left in this one. And there's the Oquendo clan, excited for their man. Frez's family enjoying themselves so far. Don't know if the kids' faces tells you.
2 championship rounds. These are the 2 championship rounds. He knows he's behind, and he's going to put a lot of pressure now. Do not stop. 2 rounds left. 2 rounds left for the championship, my friend.
All you got to do is put him together. He holding you. When he hold your head, let him get your head, but get your hand loose. And don't pull it back when he breaks, because he'll hit on the break. Because he going to get a break. Now, you got to work. You got to touch him in the gut now. Let's touch him in that gut with a hard left hand, okay? Okay, let's go. Get out, Rose.
Carefully constructed fight plan by Frez Oquendo. Managed to make Chris Bird lead early and come at him. Got his counter-punching game going. Has landed a lot of body shots. Setting things up by jabbing to the body throughout the fight. Frez Oquendo seemingly in command as we come to the last 2 rounds. Chris Bird with his high numbers for both connected punches and punches thrown in the 10th, 20 out of 57. Still Oquendo landing the harder shots.
Does Bird have a knockout in him?
He's going for it tonight.
Bird doing damage along the ropes. Oquendo's balance gone there just for a second. Maybe as much out of exhaustion as out of Bird's punches. He's asserting himself big time now.
Oquendo's mouth is wide open.
It ain't over yet.
Bird's corner told him to go to the body, and he's being hit in the body.
Right hand rally by Oquendo. Bird's audience has momentary excitement. Must be fun for them. Watch their man try for a knockout. Or maybe they're too nervous for it.
Boy, that's when these minutes are starting to sound like hours to you in the ring. Can't believe what 3 minutes can be in a human being's life.
They almost banged heads to the center of the ring. Bird may have won the 10th round, trying to win this one to make the fight closer. Oquendo swinging big and missing. Not a particularly good idea if you're tired. Bird takes advantage. Right hand body shot by Oquendo momentarily stalls Bird.
Oquendo is using a little bluff now. I'm showing you my right hand. I'll hit you with this, but he's not doing it.
Rare sight. Frez Oquendo in the role of boxer trying to sit on his lead. Chris Bird in the role of puncher trying to take him apart. Left hand landed for Oquendo. Bird smiles and says, come on. But the round comes to a close.
This is the last round coming up here now, okay? Did he hurt you in anything?
No.
Well, let's put them together this time. Let's reel that bag on this slipper this time, okay? Because where's this all going?
This fight is ours. This fight is ours. This is what we work for. This is what we work. This fight is ours. This is the champion. One more round. That's it. This fight is ours.
Yeah, now, okay? Let's go with the That's what it is, baby.
This round out is ours. You got to win this round. Put a lot of pressure on this guy. Last round, this our round. Come on. You got to do it. Bring the championship to Puerto Rico.
Chris Bird has been the nowhere man of boxing, trying to make something of himself.
And Eddie Cotton's going to rule that is not a knockdown. He calls it a push. A push, not a knockdown.
I thought that was a knockdown. Without a punch, Bird doesn't go down.
I thought it was a push because the push came after the punch. Harold, how do you have it to 11?
I'd like to see the replay of that again. 106, 103, 7 rounds to 4. Fast Frez Oquendo. Jim, I gotta tell you something. I thought Chris Bird came back to win rounds 10 and 11, make it a little bit closer, but Frez had a big early lead with that lead right hand, and all the big shots he landed early. So Frez Oquendo by 3 points going into the 12th.
This is the last of the round I'd just like to see.
You know what? I think it may officially possibly be closer than Harold has it, just because judges aren't accustomed to seeing Chris Bird lose rounds. May have taken him a little while early in the fight to get the hang of that.
Yeah. There's no such thing as thinking that you're ahead on point. I can tell you that.
Well, if Oquendo's trying to sit on the lead, and he's not, he throws a left hook that lands there. Bird comes back with a straight left hand. Oquendo with his 3rd big tackle of the game. And now, Eddie Cotton, I believe, is going to deduct a point for roughhousing. No, he did not deduct a point.
Keep it fair. That was good for Cotton.
So no point deduction. Bird's going to have to do it on his own.
All of a sudden, Bird looks like Joseph. Amen.
Well, the southpaw Joe Frazier. They're probably about to fight the best 50 seconds of the fight.
If Bird loses, he could go back to oblivion. Without a title, who would fight him?
Look at Bird firing power shots. Most unusual moment of Chris Bird's career. Bell will sound and Oquendo will celebrate. Oquendo trying for that moment of camaraderie at the end of the fight, and Bird wanted no part of it, probably feeling as though he's been fouled too much in the fight. It winds up close on the Letterman scorecard as Bird sweeps the last 3 rounds to get to within 115, 113. 1 round from Oquendo to Bird, and you got an even fight. So there is still suspense as we wait for the official scorecards.
Thank you so much. The tip-off was the referee not calling that last knockdown.
Well, let's take a look at what happened at the beginning of the round. This is what Eddie Cotton ruled us. Right hand to the side of the head, left hand. Then he stepped in and bodied him and tripped him. What do you think, George?
I think the punch created everything. Then I don't think that well anymore.
George, don't say that. We're paying you big money to think that way. Okay? Chris Bird threw 103 power punches over the last 3 rounds. Was it enough? Let's go to Jimmy Lamon Jr. for the official scorecards.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards with a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Donald Ackerman, scores at 115 to 113. Judge Stephen Epstein scores about 116 to 112. And Judge John Duke Lawson sees about 117 to 100. Still champion, Chris Bird.
Wow.
Well, here we are again. 1 week later. And like I said, judges aren't particularly accustomed to seeing Chris Bird lose rounds. Final CompuBox numbers, total punches. Bird 32 out of 484. And they're chanting BS in this crowd.
Yep.
Oquendo 156 out of 486. Champs. CompuBox doesn't measure the impact of punches, just the number of punches thrown and landed. Bird 55 out of 245. Oquendo 66 out of 169. Percentages favor Frez Oquendo. 117, 111 Bird. That scorecard is rather amazing.
Yep. It was amazingly foul. So, as you can see, the man should have been the heavyweight champion of the world. He's been robbed for the heavyweight championship like 3 times in a row. He's been fighting a lawsuit for about 7 to 8 years. A fight he won in Russia, and they robbed him. He's supposed to get a rematch. It never happened. They didn't pay him. It's just terrible. So that's the story of Frez. All right, for the Nate Jones story, it's your boy Carcino here. Boom, thanking you.